episode is sponsored by Books. Search for author Erika Deery in your favorite online bookstore. Color is a power which directly influences the soul. Vasily Kandinsky. Hi everyone, welcome to the Bilingual Book Club. I am Erika Deery and I am so excited because this is our very first episode ever. And today I will be interviewing author Marcela Klinsrisuk, and we will be talking about her book, What is Your Favorite Color? Or in español, ¿Cuál es tu color favorito? Marcela was born and raised in Queens, New York to Colombian parents. She graduated cum laude with a degree in hospitality management and a minor in business administration. She worked in a luxury boutique hotel for 16 years before finally dedicating her time to writing children's books. Writing for children has been one of her dreams since the age of 13, when a book she wrote for an English class assignment was selected to be part of her school district's book-making contest. Having always been surrounded by diverse ethnicities and being repeatedly told by her mom how important education is, she tries to incorporate the two into her children's books. Although nowadays her two young children have been giving her fun ideas as well. Her dream is to educate and inspire children through her books and also put a smile on their faces. She believes they truly are our future and deserve all the best from the very beginning. Marcela now lives in Long Island, New York with her teacher husband, Thai in-laws, and of course her two energetic children. Marcela, welcome to the club.
Thank you very much, Erika. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just starting a Saturday morning here in Melbourne, Australia.
Nice.
So tell me a little bit about you and how did you get into writing children's books?
Okay. I have two young children now, so they've definitely been an inspiration, but I have had an interest in becoming a children's book author since I was younger. I just didn't see it as something feasible. So I did opt for a career, as you mentioned, in hospitality and tourism, as I enjoy learning about people's cultures and their countries and their languages. So I've always had an interest in that. Because of the pandemic, I did lose my job. So I did have that free time to maybe go back to that childhood dream in writing children's books. And so I started learning about how to self-publish and the steps to take to have a book out there in the world, if you will. And I have been fortunate enough to now have two books out, and I do plan to make others, so we'll see where we go.
It's just so exciting that you can come up with something in your mind and then it becomes a physical thing.
It's awesome. Yes, it's great.
So where did the idea for this book came from?
I wrote that, I want to say now closer to 2 years ago, I want to say, and I actually had just written it just to write it while I was at work. And my daughter, I think at the time, was probably either like in preschool, kindergarten. So I was kind of seeing like what they were learning in school. And I got the idea of just making this concept book, right, of colors. And if you read the book, there's a little bit of repetition in it. And then, you know, there's examples of each color that's there. So it did start off mostly as something I would like my kids to read and, you know, learn something from it. And funny enough, I didn't make it bilingual until almost like right before I sent it to be illustrated and formatted. And I'm like, wait a minute, why does it just have to be in English? I can so easily make this in Spanish. And I've been so surprised on the feedback I've gotten, you know, from the, I guess, Spanish speaking community, if you will, or just others who want to teach their children another language, you know, be it Spanish. And just the demand that there is for bilingual books, right? As a Spanish speaker in my household, I am the only Spanish speaker at my home. So it's been pretty hard to be consistent with my kids in terms of speaking Spanish to them, because I would love for them to be bilingual. So I'm very happy that I did make it bilingual, and they enjoy it. Even though my younger one may not be able to read yet, they've kind of memorized the book a little bit. So they've learned the colors in Spanish, which is good, you know, and it kind of gave me the idea to maybe continue and possibly make it into some kind of series in terms of kind of like the similar format. So in this one, it's obviously about colors. So I was thinking, and this is the first time I'm letting anybody know, but I was thinking of maybe making it into like a series. So like, for example, another book could be, what is your favorite sport? ¿Cuál es tu deporte favorito? And then kind of have like that same format and, you know, show them different sports and different items that pertain to each sport. You know, my thing is that I want kids to be aware of their surroundings, to see the beauty around us, you know, and I don't want to make anything so like, I don't know if this is the right word, like fantastical, like, you know, like real stuff, you know what I mean? So I want them to be more observant of their everyday, of their nature, of the things around them. So in the books, I try to use items that I guess most kids would come across during their childhood lifetime.
Yeah.
You know? So like if they're walking on the street, you know, they'll see something maybe that's in the book and then they can point it out and say the word for it, you know, even if it's just a color, but it's something. Right?
Yeah. And I love how that relatable is, because what I liked about your book is that you almost broke the fourth wall. Like when I was reading it with my kids, my 7-year-old was reading it to us, and I've got a 4-year-old, and you know, she was reading it in English because she's learning how to read. She's in grade 2, and I think she was kind of hoping to see her actual favorite color here. So my kids were like, "Oh my God, when is blue gonna come? Is it gonna? Oh my God!" They were so stressed. And it's like, "Oh, but maybe pink is gonna be first. I don't know." And they were so excited about that. And just looking at their reaction, and when finally their favorite color came up, they were like so excited. So something I noticed, and reading to bio, it definitely reflects. You have in your illustrations children with different skin colors, different hair colors, different eye color. Was that a deliberate approach from you? Reflecting, and you also have a good balance of boys and girls. I love that.
Yes. They kind of alternate, I think, for the most part. But yeah, I did want to show diversity. Look, when people think of Latin Americans or Hispanic or South Americans, Central Americans, maybe I'm wrong. Most people think more of like the tanner skinned person, right? My sister's a little bit more tan. For me, for people to think that I was South American by, you know, ethnicity, hardly ever, right? Because I'm more fair skinned, right? And so a lot of people would be shocked whenever I would speak Spanish to them or know that my family is from Colombia. So with the book, in terms of diversity, you can see there's a range of skin tones, of hair types, you know, so I wanted to show that diversity in the children within the book, so that hopefully whatever child is reading the book, they can relate to at least one of the characters of the children in the book, within the book.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. And I think diversity is one of those things that we are having more awareness about that, because I definitely believe that you can't be what you can't see. So if kids can see themselves represented in books at a very young age, that is going to be such a good thing for them. Are there any activities that you recommend, or that you've seen maybe parents or teachers or Spanish play groups do with your book that could be fun for people to try at home?
Of course. One, I think, easy and fun one that I have honestly yet to try with my own kids. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. So the adult or the parent at home can say a color in Spanish and then have the child try to find an object of that color just to test their knowledge if they do know what each color means. So I thought that was a pretty fun idea. I do have a little worksheet that I created that you guys can find on my Linktree website. It's kind of like a matching game. So I have the words written out, not colored, just the word in Spanish, and then like an object per each color from the book itself. And then they would match it according. So the color of the word to the item matching that color. Along the same lines, like I was saying earlier, if you go outside, little stroll, driving, whatever, you can just practice, with the children, like, okay, what color is that? And you just point over to something. What color is that car? I don't know, just little things like that. I think the adult is such an important part with the child to learn. Like, it's kind of like a two-way street, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to don't give it all to them, I guess. Kind of like test them, do like little games with them, to see what they have learned, and just kind of put it like to the test. And but I think the scavenger hunt one is pretty fun. I know my kids enjoy scavenger hunts in general.
Yeah, so, I think my kids would love that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you just like, sometimes even for bedtime, like I'll try to practice Spanish with my kids sometimes. So like I'll tell my boy, okay, ¿de qué color es la cortina? What color is the curtain? ¿De qué color es la cobija? What color is the blanket? Things like that, and you'll see him thinking. And then if he doesn't know it, I'll kind of start off the word and then he'll finish it off, So it's like little things like that. And it's just practice. Like I said, just repetition, I think, is something that we've come to understand with kids or with anybody. Repetition, you just do it over and over, and hopefully you'll just stick.
It'll stick at one point. Yeah.
It'll stick, right? So yeah, so I sometimes I do that at bedtime when I want to practice Spanish with them. That's like the only time they'll give me their attention, because during the day they don't, they're doing their own thing. Yeah. They don't want to be learning.
Yeah, I find like if my kids smell a hint of me trying to teach them, they'll be like, not interested.
Yeah, like, no. Very short attention span there.
Yeah, and my little one, she knows the colors, but then sometimes her sister helps her, so she'll go and whisper it to her. So I'm like, well, I think they are helping.
Exactly. So and you said you have a 7 and a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, same as me. My daughter will be 7 in a few weeks, and my little boy's 4.5. So my daughter does understand a lot more than my son. And so yeah, she'll try to help him out and give him the little hints also, or she'll get not upset, but like I'll focus more on teaching my son, and she'll want to give me the answer, and I'm like, Chrisana, I know let me check if Kyler knows, because she's so eager, because she knows the answer, and it makes me happy that she knows the answer, to what I'm asking, and it's cute to see her try to help her brother, but I feel bad, maybe because he's still very young, but he'll get frustrated and he'll get upset and he'll just kind of like throw the towel and say, I don't know it, but we're all learning, right? We're all learning how to figure this out. And like I said, I'm the only Spanish speaker in the house, so it is a little bit hard for me to do that, because my in-laws, my husband, they all speak to them in English, even though in an ideal world, my children would be trilingual. They would speak English, Spanish, and Thai, right? But we'll stick with the Spanish for now, I guess.
Yeah, that's on top of parenting, right? So it's quite a lot. I noticed that you've published under Lion and Archer Books. Why is that name?
So when I took one of the self-publishing courses, they kept saying not to come up with a publishing name using your own name, right? Because it's like a dead giveaway that you're self-published. So I'm like, okay, time to get creative here. I'm like, what should I come up with? And I jotted down a few ideas. I wanted to maybe somehow incorporate my children into it. And so the best way for me was to incorporate their zodiac signs. So my daughter, her birthday's in July, so she's a Leo, and which is represented by the lion. And my son, like me, we're Sagittarius, which is represented by the archer. So that's where I got the Lion and Archer book. So that's my little homage or whatever to my kids. It's like, okay, they're there.
Yeah, I love it. And because it's not super obvious, and I'm also Sagittarius. So
yeah. I don't think I'm having more kids, so we're good.
Otherwise, you're going to have to change the name and add another one.
You have to change it, yes, they're all over.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. And
thank you for having me, Erika. This is awesome. This is my first time too, so yeah.
Yeah, we're both learning, as we've said. So where can people find you and your books and everything you do online?
Yeah, of course. The easiest one for me would be Instagram. I think that's my main one. And for Instagram, it's Lion and Archer Books with a period between each word. So it's lion.and.archer.books. Facebook, just Lion and Archer Books as well. And my website, it's through Linktree, same thing, Lion and Archer Books. So I'm pretty consistent there. And maybe easier one where you can kind of find everything, just Google my name, because I doubt there's another Marcela Klinsrisuk out there. You type in my name, you'll see all the links to the books, to any author pages of mine. And the books can be found obviously on Amazon. I was doing some research earlier. Are you familiar with Booktopia? Is that in Australia? Yeah, so so it's, I searched and it's on there as well. But here, like in the States, you have Walmart, Target, Barnes and Noble, I think Waterstones, which is in the UK. You have IndieBound, you have Books A Million, and also another indie bookstore, I think in California, it's Mija Books or Mija Books. I don't know if some of you are familiar with that. That's MIJA. And I mean, it's pretty much worldwide at this point, obviously online, bookshop.org also. And from my understanding, you can even request to have the book at your local library. Like I doubt they'll have them, but if you actually go to the local library, you can probably even request it and they may be able to order them for you.
Yeah, that's true. Some local libraries, and I think in California they do, and I think at least our local library here in Melbourne, there's a form and you can say, this is the book I want, this is the ISBN.
Right.
They might get it, they might not, but they'll let you know once it's there. So it's it's a really good process. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.